Hello, this is Dwayne Smith. Welcome to the website. I think with this first video, this video will be the first of a series of videos ultimately intended to provide proof of concept in terms of the development and end results of both the analytical and production models. But I'd like to start out, I think, giving you a tour of the facility. The facility has provided a context to explore and investigate these submicron particles over the past 16 months, and it's been very instrumental in arriving at some of the conclusions that we currently have. The approach has been a little different. I started with a meager budget of $100,000, and I understood that the intent was not to explore, free milling simple materials. This was wrapped around the idea initially of exploring the submicron particles, particularly very small viral, if you will, size particles of platinum heavily diffused in pyritic oxides, the end product of which is an alloy that has tremendous bond strengths. So the need to explore it both pyrolytically and hydrometallurgically was established at the beginning and throughout the course of the 14 to 16 months. So I'd like to just take you through the facility, give you a tour of the facility, show you that how on a meager budget of $100,000 I was able to acquire, mostly on the surplus market, for pennies on the dollar, various components that allowed me to investigate the submicron particle. I have some pretty serious sophistication in this facility because, in fact, the facility is built around a specialized investigational objective. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the basic overview of the facility. Thank you. So this term quantum metallurgy, it's certainly not a developed field that exists today for the most part. To say that it's in its infancy, it would certainly be an understatement. And I think that's because metallurgical research primarily is driven by existing mining companies that are so fully entrenched in their existing operations or modes of extraction and recovery that they're really not interested in pursuing anything else. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for them to from their perspective at least, to pursue the unknown as well. So the field doesn't really exist for the most part, so it might be helpful to think of our time together just in the context of quantum mechanics or quantum physics. So the particles that we're discussing aren't so small that we discuss them as exhibiting wave-like behavior or really having to understand them as interactions of energy and matter, but they're small, okay? And we're talking about what I believe to be a new class of platinum group metals that hangs out at around 0.1 to say 0.5 microns, but it's in the quantum realm in the sense that we're discussing very small atomic clusters of platinum, okay? Just to give you some perspective, 1 micron is 1/25,000th of an inch. And to understand how small that is, consider that human hairs measure between between 30 and 120 microns, unless you're measuring my hair. Staphylococcus bacteria measures about 0.7 microns. So when I'm talking about a viral class or a viral viral platinum or a viral species of platinum, it's because I'm trying to describe that it's very, very small. And it matters in understanding that the values in the Nevada material, they're in the quantum realm. Okay, they cannot be comprehended, assayed, concentrated, filtered, or recovered using any type of traditional analytical method. In the mining field, people are, they're used to talking about 400 mesh as a very small particle size. That's 37 microns. That's nearly 300 times larger than the particles that I've come to term as a viral species of platinum. So we could view the individual particles as as the microscopic constituents comprising this larger whole, this macroscopic whole, if you will, that we refer to as the metal alloy. So we have these very small individual metals: bismuth, antimony, arsenic, tellurium, selenium, sulfur, and so forth. You add to that all of the ferrous elements, the magnetic portion, okay, that you would see as the metal alloy that is actually the product of your smelt. And what you end up with is quantum compression, because you have all these submicron parts that combine with oxygen to form these very compressed crystalline lattices. And inevitably, you're going to have the naysayers say that that's not that abnormal to have those different metals making up an alloy. And that's true. But we're dealing with particle distribution of small parts in unusual bond strengths, in lattice oxygen encapsulated in the material. That's the difference. Because essentially what you end up with is a nearly indestructible metal alloy. It doesn't respond to oxidation. I don't care if you're in the hot stage, the wet stage. These are covalent bonds where the oxygen is ensuring the integrity of the alloy at all cost. You could boil it in nitric acid for a week and it wouldn't tarnish the surface of the material. That is why I call it quantum metallurgy, because we are in fact dealing with very small clusters and they need to be captured so that we end up with a product that we can actually quantify, something we can get our arms around. You have to be able to produce an aggregated mass, your composite metal, and what you end up with is you end up with a whole new set of problems, a whole new set of complexities with respect to the strength of the alloy thus constituted. Have I solved the problem in light of its complexity in terms of creating a practical recovery model? Yes. Am I able to demonstrate the ability to produce market-worthy metal? Yes. Have I finished the analytical and production models? Yes. Are we ready to move into production? Yes, I am.